This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Police kill a man in a stolen truck. And tonight we have new details about the suspect and a look at Ring camera video showing the moments during that deadly shooting. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. That shooting happened this morning. It started when police tried to pull over the driver in St. Louis City. The chase ended in Imperial. Holden Kurwicki joins us live from the area where the chase ended with the latest details on the investigation.
Well, Kelly, Mike, throughout the day, I've spoken with multiple people who live in the Westward Trails neighborhood here in Imperial. They told me that initially they thought someone was popping balloons or setting off fireworks to celebrate the end of school. It wasn't until they walked outside that they realized that a man was dead after a shootout with police. Around 7:30 Thursday morning, Megan Wangler was getting her daughter ready for school when she heard sirens approaching her apartment.
It happened so fast, I kind of just snatched my daughter up and ran to the kitchen and dropped to the ground and waited for the shots to be over with. According to Jefferson County Sheriff Dave Marshak, just 30 minutes prior, detectives with the SLMPD Anti-Theft Task Force tried to stop a stolen truck near the intersection of Broadway and Shermer in the city of St. Louis, but the driver took off.
Soon after, the suspect that was operating the vehicle started firing shots at the officers, which led to a subsequent law enforcement police pursuit.
That pursuit passed through St. Louis City and County, where officers used stop strips, but the driver continued shooting at officers while driving into Jefferson County.
The first thing when I pulled in, I noticed the scratch marks all the way down the street from the blown out tires I guess he drove in on.
After driving between two apartment buildings, Sheriff Marshak says the suspect, 45-year-old Terry Pfeffer of Arnold, continued firing at officers.
Let's be clear about this. The suspect dictated the actions of the law enforcement officers by shooting at them, and the police officers responded. And make no mistake, if they are shooting at police officers, the average citizen, where do they sit on the totem pole?
Pfeffer, who is known to police due to a lengthy criminal history, was killed during that exchange, but those who live nearby are thankful no one else was hurt during the shootout.
I think they nipped it in the bud when they did, and good thing it wasn't like during time when school buses were running.
Yeah, kids are out here. Normally these roads packed with kids.
I am amazing that nobody else got hurt. Very thankful. Like, God had angels over Westward Trails today.
A woman who was in the truck with Pfeffer throughout the entire chase was taken into custody, but at this time, police have yet to release her identity or if she faces any charges. Reporting live in Imperial, Missouri, Holden Kurwicki, 5 on your side.
All right, now to our forecast, and our Weather First team is tracking more chances for storms.
Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo. What is the latest on this now, Jim?
Okay, so we had those storms overnight and we were following some today, but now things are really calm and we're at 80 after a high today of 83. That dew point is high, so that humidity is way up there, but the Doppler weather radar is nice and calm right now. I'll zoom into where we were watching the past couple of hours here. Rich Woods to Potosi, a couple of showers and storms tried to flare up, but it's tomorrow when a cold front comes through here, level 2 out of 5, so it ramps up in the afternoon. The timing on this will be about 1 to 7 p.m. is when we're really watching those scattered strong to severe storms, 60+ mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail, the main threats here, and then we can't rule out a spin-up tornado. Let's check out that futurecast real quick. You can see that line of showers and storms moving into the area again in the afternoon hours, and we'll watch this through tomorrow evening. Plus, Sunday, another risk of severe weather. I'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Jim, we'll see you then. Within the past 2 hours, prosecutors filed murder charges in a deadly triple shooting near the St. Charles Convention Center.
5 on your side's Megan Kernan joins us live from the scene in St. Charles. Megan.
Mike and Kelly, the shooting happened in the convention center parking lot. 19-year-old Terrell Pete from St. Louis died, and 2 others were hurt. Now, when officers arrived to the scene last night, they found a white car that had crashed into this tree right here. Late this afternoon, authorities released new details about what happened last night around 8. Police say 2 groups of people met to trade weapons in the parking lot. Investigators say during the trade, Keonta Hardin pointed a gun at Gabriel Patterson, who opened fire. Both of them are 18 years old, and both have been charged with second-degree murder. The victim was 19-year-old Terrell Pete of St. Louis. Today, St. Charles police told me this was a bad decision that ended with a deadly outcome.
Anybody that is considering participating in gun violence really needs to consider what they're doing, because that could wreck their life. It could change the course of other people's lives in the future. Gun violence affects everyone. It affects the family, it affects the community. So anybody that is involved in the illegal transaction of guns or anything involving guns should think twice, especially in St. Charles.
2 others were shot and are expected to be okay. Lieutenant Gibbons says they are not looking for anyone else associated with this crime. The teenagers charged with second-degree murder are behind bars on a $500,000 bond. Live in St. Charles, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
Well, local leaders are taking a new regional approach to reduce violent crime in our area. Their goal is to cut the region's homicides and shootings by 20% over the next 3 years.
And today was the first meeting of the Save Lives Now Advisory Council. Justina Cornell was there. She's in the newsroom. How'd the meeting turn out, Justina?
Well, that room today was filled with key stakeholders, from elected officials to police chiefs and nonprofit organizations. Save Lives Now, are also known as SLN, is a regional initiative to reduce shootings and homicides in St. Clair County, St. Louis City, and St. Louis County. So how will they try and do this? Well, the program will engage at the most at risk with targeted interventions and hold offenders accountable. They'll use 3 tactics: focused deterrence, cognitive behavioral therapy, and street outreach. And while these efforts are already happening in the region, I'm told no one has used them at the same time in this type of regional approach. This program will cost $1.5 million over the next 3 years for staff training and implementation. Now, this type of anti-violence plan is already happening in 2 cities, Knoxville and Boston. So far this year, Boston has had 3 homicides.
In both of those cities, we've seen results fairly quickly, even before program implementation is completed. But I do think we need to give this some time to work. I would also say that the strategies that we're talking about, focused deterrence, CBT, and street outreach, they can deliver results within a year or 2.
Right now, fundraising and looking for a director are top of mind until they hope to have boots on the ground early next year.
Tonight, there is a new candidate in the race for St. Louis's next mayor. St. Louis Alderwoman Kara Spencer is challenging Mayor Tashara Jones, who is seeking re-election. If this matchup sounds familiar to you, it's because it is. It's happened before. Spencer ran against Jones in 2021, but lost by 4% of the vote. Spencer plans to launch her campaign at an event next month.
Campus leaders testify on Capitol Hill, the questions they're facing following protests across the country.
The Justice Department targets Ticketmaster. Riot wants to break up the business.
Memorial Day weekend is almost here. We share some travel tips before you hit the road.
The Folds of Honor campaign, sponsored by Schnucks, is underway. Round up at the register at any local Schnucks. Money funds scholarships for spouses and children of fallen and wounded service members and first responders. Folds of Honor runs through Tuesday, May 28th. Five on Your Side is a proud partner.